Alright guys, welcome back to this Banlist prediction video. We have the 18th of January. This means that at around the 20th of January we can expect the new Banlist. It usually the earliest time is at the 20th, the latest is at the end of the month. So anywhere between now and I guess the end of next week, something like this, we will get the new Banlist. And obviously this will be a very interesting one since we are expecting Fiend Smith for February. Also Monday morning there will be a leaks video obviously since there will be new Decade leaks on Sunday. Probably Fiend Smith. We will have to see. The February pack will probably be quite big since this is the anniversary pack and the anniversary pack always has been big. But now let's talk about the potential ban list here that could happen. And we are starting here over at Master Duel Meta and the tier list. And you can see Temper Dragon, Fire King, Snake Eyes, Branded and Yugioh are here listed as tier 2. This is only including all the tournaments that are listed on the side, which are not all of them. Very important to understand. And is also not the ladder. So definitely not the same thing as if we would hop on over to Untapped GG, where you can basically find a tier list of the ladder, because they are using a ladder data here for their tier list, where we can see Voiceless voices actually at the top, and then we have Snake Eyes, Yugioh, Temper Dragon, and Centurion in the B category basically. And I think these are the data points that we have to look at when thinking about what will hit or be hit on the next ban list. Snake Eyes, no big surprise, it's coming back up. I was also playing it more than before, not because something was happening here, new additions or something, but just because Temper Dragon is a lot weaker. I expected Temper Dragon to still be the best deck, and if you look at this, you could still assume that it is. I do think that it's not really the case anymore, but the meta is definitely more balanced than it was before, so this is something positive. So the first thing I think to talk about is not a Voiceless voice, but a Yugioh. So Yugioh, the obvious candidate in my opinion for a hit, and the most likely hit we can already see here since the OCG and also the TCG has Phantom of Yugioh at 1. I think this is the most likely one. Nightmare Throne has been untouched. OCG has it at 2. Don't think we will see this right here. The Phantom of Yugioh has already gone down to 2, and putting it to 1 definitely makes the deck even weaker. The deck has received quite good new support with the Varudras and will also be way stronger with the Fiendsmith stuff. So I think they will want to address this beforehand. I do not think, and you can let me know in the comments what you think of this, I do not think that Snake Eyes will receive any hits, even though we can see Snake Eyes being once again back on the ladder. This all depends on whether we get the Fiendsmith stuff. Obviously, the Fiendsmith stuff or the release of the Fiendsmith stuff will definitely dictate how the Banlist could look like, since Snake Eyes will be able to use it, Memento will be able to use it, and also Yugioh will be able to use it. So if the Fiendsmith stuff comes, I'm definitely expecting Phantom of Yugioh going to 1, but this is one of the most likely candidates in my opinion. Then we could see over here at Untapped GG at least that Voiceless voice is quite popular. I predicted this. The fact that Voiceless voice is very good into Fuvalos is, I think, the main reason. Could we see some hits to Voiceless voice? I don't really think so. I don't think that this is the deck that Konami wants to hit. I'm also not quite sure what you would hit here. Probably something, maybe the Zafira, so that you cannot hard open it as often, or maybe the low. If you only have one low, for example, you would definitely have to be more careful with your low resource, and if one low gets banished by something, it's definitely a bigger problem. Yes, you can recycle it with the blessing of the Voiceless voice, but it's still definitely problematic. Then again, I don't really think that we will see anything happening to Voiceless voice. Voiceless voice will in power level automatically be downgraded when we get the Fiendsmith stuff, since then Yugioh, Snake Eyes, Memento and other decks will be way better, and Voiceless will not be able, or I think it can, but it is not that great in incorporating the Fiendsmith engine, so that's not that great. And then we have one card that we obviously also have to talk about, which is Maxi. OCG has it at 2, and this happened, I think, right after the Much Armies. Oh no, the Much Armies were in the game for a while before this happened here at the OCG. Putting the Maxi to 2, I think it's very, and this is where you can let me know your theories. This is very theoretical. You can argue for one way, you can argue for another way. It's very hard to predict what will happen with Maxi over in the OCG and in Master Duel, since I think a lot of people were expecting more hits to Maxi after it going to 2. A lot of people were expecting that this slowly goes down to 0. Maybe they are waiting until the new merge army, the Nihilists or the Meowls, as it's called in the European and American region, has found its way into the meta game in the OCG. Then again, they have this card for a while now, so I'm not quite sure. Maybe this will stay at 2 for a while. I was honestly thinking that the release of the merge armies would prompt Konami to get rid of Maxi in every format, and I would definitely expect Maxi at least going to 2 in Master Duel as well. Maybe Master Duel will be the place where they want to try out putting Maxi into the forbidden category, so that they maybe also do it in the OCG. This could be a theory, but it's not quite sure whether the testing ground is the OCG for Master Duel or Master Duel for the OCG and the TCG. So it's quite hard to really make a prediction here. I do think so that we will see Maxi going to at least 2 at some point. I don't really think that it will happen at this point in this ban list, but definitely in a future ban list. This is a pretty safe prediction, I think. Will this ever be forbidden? I hope so, and I also think so. I'm just not sure on what time frame we are looking at, or how long it will take Konami to finally make this step. Since the Fuwa loss and the other merge armies definitely are not replacing Maxi in the same way that Maxi was functioning. A lot of you might have already noticed that the merge armies are definitely once again way weaker in Master Duel than, for example, in the TCG, since we are in this best of 1 format, and you will have to put them, I made a discussion video about it, but you will have to put them in your main deck, and then every time you go first, you basically have 3 more bricks in your hand that you basically cannot use. So the merge armies are definitely way more balanced in Master Duel. I would definitely love Maxi going to forbidden, but we have to see what the future brings here. And then I guess the last engine that we also need to talk about is the Fiendsmith engine, assuming that we will get this. Will we get all the stuff once this will be released? I do think so. This would also fit to the theme of February, where they always give us a lot of stuff. This has just been, or is just releasing in the TCG, so I could definitely see us getting all of this stuff. These are not that important though. The more important ones are these here. Will we see, and I guess this is something to think about when it comes to the ban list, will we see something happening to the Fiendsmith engine beforehand? I would say no, but it could definitely be the case. We can see the Engraver in OCG at 1, which is definitely very hard hit. In the OCG, the Fiendsmith engine is already pretty hard hit. The Requiem is still untouched. We can see something like the Tract in the OCG at 1, and then in the TCG, the Fiendsmith's Lacrima is forbidden. At one point, this engine will definitely be hit and completely be destroyed. Obviously not in the beginning in Master Duel. But I don't really think that we will see something. The most likely hit that we might see would maybe be Fiendsmith Engraver at the beginning at 2 or something. I don't think we will get this at 1. I also don't think we will get Tracked at 1 or 2. I think if they do something, they will do it to the Engraver, putting this to 2 or something like this, which would still be totally fine. This engine is insanely strong and can definitely survive a lot of hits until it is no longer being playable. Yeah, but this is the most likely one. I would assume. You can let me know in the comments what do you think. And as I already said, I'm pretty sure that we will get the Fiendsmith stuff come February. Hopefully Engraver gets the animation, but most likely Desiree will get the animation, which also would be fine, since we are definitely summoning Desiree a bunch. It's a good card, one of the monsters that you want to create with your Fiendsmith engine. So yeah, this is my Banlist prediction. So I guess we will see something happening to Yubel, honestly, but out of all the decks that are basically good right now, I think Yubel is the only one that might receive a hit, and then we might receive some hits to the Fiendsmith engine beforehand. I think nothing else really needs a hit. But we will see. There will also be a lot of cards returning from the ban list as always. But let me know in the comments what you think of this upcoming ban list. What are you hoping for? What's about the Maxi situation for you? Let me know your comments. I'm very interested. If you like my videos, please consider subscribing, hitting a thumbs up and the notification bell. And we will see each other in the next one.